in, but I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it.
Hey, chat room, remind us to do a video at the end of all of this. We're
Yes.
you do well. Tom and I are slacking on our duties, and then I give this is a warm up. I do a big motivational speech. I'm like, we're doing it, man. We're doing it, and then we don't do it.
We just forget. Well, and also I'm usually running out to a client. I'm making sure this is on Do Not Disturb. And I'm taking books today I'm giving a talk on Monday for Senior Resource Alliance for people who are case managers for vulnerable seniors.
Okay, all
which
right.
I think is really.
I'm a vulnerable senior.
So
Almost.
I am.
Almost.
Tomorrow I am.
Welcome to the 50 Club.
50.
Woo!
50.
I love it. 50s are amazing.
Aren't you supposed to go to Hawaii for your 50? So you do Hawaii 50? That's a dad joke. I'm allowed to say that. I'm almost 50.
Hawaii is awesome.
Yeah. I would love to go to
Everybody
Hawaii.
should experience Hawaii.
Yeah, you don't need an excuse to go there.
I've never been to Hawaii. You have connections to Hawaii.
I do. My daughter lives there.
Some would say your most precious one, half of, you're like.
Half of my most precious.
Absolutely.
What island does she live?
Maui.
Maui, okay.
Yeah, that's why you're trying to get into her business.
Well,
yeah. Why don't you dox
Believe me,
her?
the whole world can see her. She's very visible on
Because
Instagram.
every island is different in its own way and cool in its own way, and that's what's weird about Hawaii.
That's what Hawaiian people say, and I think that's wildly cool. No, I'm not making jokes. Like they say, like this island has got this, and this island they're
very different.
The Big Island is crazy.
I love the Big Island.
Yeah, it's so geologically diverse that it's insane that you could be in, wearing a jacket in, it's 50 degrees on top of a mountain, and you could be in a jungle and the gut is 90.
You mean to tell me there's a place that I can wear a jacket and board shorts in the same day?
100%.
And then
I don't know.
There's a desert there. There's a rainforest.
They got it all.
Sand beach.
They got it all. You know what else they got? A bunch of big fat Hawaiians smoking ice. They love ice. They smoke ice and then they suck each other's dicks behind dumpsters.
No, come on.
All right.
This is not the Hawaii.
I was just trying to break you into showboat.
I'm in show mode.
Right.
I'm ready to go. That got me.
All right. That is what they do. I saw it on Dog the Bounty Hunter one
I've
time.
had a very
Everybody
different
does that.
experience in Hawaii.
My whole Hawaiian experience is shaped by Dog the Bounty Hunter and Beth. God. All right. You know what? R.I.P. Beth. That was his original wife. And I feel like the entire show died with her, if you really think about it.
You know, it's weird.
He dated that one lady, Moon Baby, and then the next lady he married, Francine, is his current wife. Oh, man. Right down the tube.
It was all over.
It's weird
Not good anymore.
seeing bad parts of town in a tropical paradise.
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
It's bizarre. Like there's plumeria. You're next to a beautiful beach, and it's also a rough part of town.
Yeah.
It's bizarre because you don't see that. You're like, this
Do you know why?
The most beautiful area I've ever seen, but also poverty-stricken.
What makes
it's
But
bizarre.
you don't have much of that in Maui.
No,
you don't
yeah,
really
yeah.
see that in Maui, and like the way you do in a Caribbean island.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be by yourself.
It's basically like, it's hard to even live in Hawaii without having a base income of higher because it's just everything's so.
My daughter
expensive.
lives at her grandparents' house.
Yeah.
My ex-husband's parents have a house there, and she's moving in with her boyfriend because she's like, I literally can't live. And she has a good job with a good salary. I mean, gas is like $10 a gallon.
Yeah.
It is insane. We went at Christmas and could not believe how expensive everything
I ride a jet ski, Mom.
Groceries are crazy.
Yes.
Everything, but you're shipping everything in.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Even Amazon, it takes like a week and there's an upcharge.
Yeah.
Amazon can't even beat the Hawaii thing. That's the one place.
Although there's like in the Big Island, I heard like
Faster or
beef.
slower there? Slower there, right?
They have a lot of beef,
Yeah.
and so beef is kind of like the beef prices are low. Like, you're like surprisingly low, but it's because they have so many.
They got cheap hamburgers, but everything else.
There's a huge cattle in
even
Big
on
Island.
Maui, they have that too.
Yeah.
The cattle thing.
I'm into it.
It's weird.
All right, you sold it. I'm going to Hawaii.
And they have like a whole cowboy culture. There's this little town called Makawao that's near where my daughter lives, and everyone's into like cattle and rodeo.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
you wouldn't think of that. that.
That's neat. I like that. I like the
Yeah.
meshing,
Yeah, we're Wailea and like Kihei, that's the touristy side, or Kapalua, and it's just all, you go there and go to a hotel and it looks like something out of a movie, but when you really live there, the life's different. It is cool though. You have volcanoes and beach and such diversity.
Yeah, you look out over the horizon and toot your ice.
I mean, that's true.
It does feel though like you're in the middle of nowhere, and you feel
100%.
very secluded. Even though it even like, what's the difference between this island and this another island? And it's like it in the back of your mind. You're like, I am in like it seems like
remote,
very very remote, and you
can feel it.
Yeah,
the culture is remote.
You feel like you are far away from the world,
and
you
as
are in the middle of nowhere.
an animal, being there feels different than being I think that's cool. That's baked into your brain.
It wouldn't be for me. Honestly, it's not for me. Like, my daughter's life is amazing. If you look at her Instagram, she works for a sailboat excursion company doing marketing, but she gets to go out on the boat and take video and footage that she uses for their social media and marketing stuff. So she's swimming with the sea turtles. I'll call her and she'll be like, oh, it's a Saturday morning. We're going waterfall hopping. And then we're going up Haleakala, which is the volcano, to hike. Like, that's her day where I'm like, I'm rotting watching Netflix. In the
my
dark.
family, we do a version
I'll
of
switch
that.
jobs. I want that job.
Yeah, Maisie and Andrea and I do a version of that where we go to just Spanish grocery stores in Orlando. It's our version of waterfall hopping. We'll hit out the Sedanos. And
just as good.
Yeah, and then we go to, we check them all out to see what flavored Doritos they have that we can't find at the Wido stores.
I love that.
And cheap fish prices. Okay.
All right.
Would you like to start?
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to Love Thy Neighbor. I'm Tom Van.
I'm Colette Fair.
And I'm Dan Dennis.
On today's show, I thought that we'd talk about just couples therapy and therapy in general.
Well, therapy in general, I mean, I feel like I'm your guy because I'm a hero. I think we should start the show with me being called a hero.
Okay, for what reason?
You've been itching for this, Dan.
Oh my God! I sent this to you first. I sent this to you on a Monday at like 5:30 a.m. or something. I got an email from. I'm going to keep it anonymous, but I got an email from a listener.
Yeah.
He emailed me back 8 years later.
Okay.
So he had emailed me originally 8 years ago, and I replied to him, and then he emailed me back 8 years later to give me the follow-up, and I'll read it to you.
That's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
8 years.
And you know what, man?
I'm talking 8 weeks.
Man, I didn't mean to call you man, first of all, but that's when you know I'm being serious. Tom and I make a lot of jokes about what we do here and what this show is, and what, like, our show kind of spawned this show, obviously. We would have never met you without our show and being in this area. Not a lot moves my needle after doing this for so long. But getting an email back 8 years from a listener that wants to, and I'm joking about the hero thing, but he basically wanted to thank me for getting him into therapy. And I'll read this real quick.
It made me cry. It's amazing.
It's so cool, man, because like just when I want to crap on, I mean, it's really easy in this day and age to crap on anything. And I think we're kind of in a weird snark, everything's set. I mean, I feel like we feel like we need to do that. And I'm actively trying to do less of that. He wrote me, he said, this is July 26th of 2018. He says, this probably isn't good show content, but what was your reason for seeking professional help the first time you ever did? I, like most people, I assume that most people just bury that stuff and use alcohol to get through your day. It would be more healthy for me to talk it out with a therapist, but the stigma is really, really strong, and I don't want to do it. Love all the content you guys put out, and then he signed it. And then I wrote back to him. I said, that's a really good question, and one that I'm not really sure I have the answer to. I just know that I feel better when I go and I talk to somebody other than my wife. And the way I figured that out is because my wife told me. Andrea is a very direct and communicative person and will tell you directly what she means. And she was like, you know what? I think maybe you need to talk to somebody again because this is too heavy for me to carry.
Wow.
And so I got a new therapist, and I've been with a therapist off and on since then. But I wrote to him, I said, you will feel better if you try it. Just try it. And then he wrote back to me 8 years later, and I got this last week. He said, Dan, it's kind of funny to revisit an 8-year-old email, but I guess therapy makes you want to do that. I did start seeing a psychologist in November of last year. It's been extremely therapeutic. I bring you up and Tom almost like we are real life friends. You guys are beyond awesome. And then he signed it again. I'm not going to out him. And hey, man, we are real friends. If that's awesome.
It's beyond
Best thing I
awesome.
could be given.
Let
You know, like
the
what a great
choir
birthday
sing.
gift.
Yes,
Yeah.
you impacted someone.
And he told me he
And
did. So there's no
right.
reason for me to be like, did I really? Because I want to do that because that's who I am. But no, he told me. He said he did. And how cool is it to know that he is better because of that and thriving because, I don't know, it gives me goosebumps and that's awesome.
So I'll speak on my experience with therapy in the fact that I am much like a lot of men out there in Florida that grew up with real men, dads, and that didn't mental health was never spoken about or even talked.
It didn't exist.
And even right now, because of my upbringing, I kind of laugh at mental health.
Tom,
because I'm like,
Tom,
I don't
my
even
whole career is
believe
a
it.
joke to you.
Do you think you laugh
just
at it
like-
because other people have abused it and cornied it enough to make it? Do you know what I mean?
No,
'Cause
I
the-
I'm
think
just
it's
telling you
too
the-
vulnerability adjacent that even the thought of it makes Tom
Uncomfortable.
Like,
Yeah.
It just makes him uncomfortable.
But I'm saying this with the realization that I know that's a stupid way to feel, and
Yeah.
that's not the right way
Well,
to
you're-
feel about it.
it's-
But
but
I'm
you
just
did
telling you the
just
truth.
break into spontaneous laughter when you said mental health.
I feel like whatever, it's not a real thing, like you know, but then you know, I know physical health is a real thing, like I know 100% that is, you know, and
easier for you to see it.
and then also
True.
and I understand the like how good a therapist could be for you and how that it for anybody just talking to a therapist can help you. There's no like it can help some people more than others.
Sure.
But in the base, it's like even if you know how to work out, going and seeing a professional trainer. Well, you pick up tips and tricks and how
he's
to
a
be a better,
professional,
how to
yeah.
be a like more, you know, better physically, no matter what, because you're speaking with a professional. Anyway, so back to the
Was that a sigh of exhaustion that I heard there? Do you need to step in? You can.
No, you
This
know,
is your show.
it was a sigh of reflection, and it's so interesting that you caught that. I was digesting what Tom said, and what I was actually thinking is that ironically, I sort of thought the same thing years ago, that like mental health, I don't know, my family, when I decided to go back to school, to grad school,
Yeah.
my whole family was like, why would you do that? That's like sort of a nonsense career. I mean, that was the vibe I got. They didn't say quite that. They were all like, you need to go back to law school, to grad school to become a lawyer. My mom's a lawyer. You'll make good money.
Sure.
You'd be good at that. You know,
I could see that.
reading, writing, talking are my things. Those skills can be good for that arena. But I had no interest in becoming a lawyer at all. And I was always clear about that. But even in my mind, the impression I grew up with was mental health was for people who had serious psychological problems. And if you had serious psychological problems, you got help and you were on medicine, and that was the end of it. I didn't think about it as something that everyone deals with. I didn't see really a value in going to a therapist. And I'm almost 53, so I grew up in a very different time. But it was through my own experiences in divorce, really going to a bad marriage counselor, that I discovered how important this was, that I saw how valuable it could be. And it really changed my mind. And of course, now, 20 years after I started grad school, I can't even believe that there's still a stigma against mental health, because I'm so in it and I see what it does for people and how helpful it can be in many ways, in many different contexts.
So let's get into the relationship therapy part of a healthy relationship, which ties into mental health. And, you know, it's like, obviously, the more healthy your relationship is, I feel like the healthier you're going to be mentally as well. Like they go hand in hand.
I think they do.
And I think a lot of people out there, like, look at their relationship as it's fine, right? And a lot of people's relationship probably is fine, right? But can it be better?
God, even saying that, you kind of made me sad when he said that.
Yeah.
Because we all
Well,
did
you're
it.
busy. You're busy.
But I did the math. I'm like, ooh, maybe I should. Man, I want to be better than this.
Your wife, your kids, your job, the stress of everyday life, and you're just like, who cares about the relation? You know, you're like, oh, married, fine. We're fine.
Stuck with me now.
We're not hitting each other. We're not yelling.
That is the benchmark in my house. It's like, are we hitting each other? No, we're good.
Yeah, but what part of the spectrum are you at? Like, I watched the Martin Short documentary recently, and his
That
relationship
affected you.
Well,
Did it?
Well, it affected me in the way that, and everybody talked in the documentary around Martin Short and his wife's relationship, and how
they held him up here,
and
man,
how
real
good
high.
and how good it was.
Yeah.
His wife passed of cancer, but everybody was saying, like, even when they went to couples therapy, they're like, their couples therapists would say, "What do you want your relationship to be like?" And they're like, "I want it to be like Martin Short and whatever his wife's." I forgot the
Wow.
name. Because and then when you
And
see,
was it real?
it looked like it was.
Yeah,
like
it does look
and
authentic.
it looked like it when, I mean, who knows?
A
It's documentary.
genuinely good
But,
relationship.
Yeah, and when you
Yeah, and it stuck with you. I'm not saying anything
Yeah.
weird. Like, even the chat room says, like, yeah, man, like, you've mentioned the fact that this Martin Short thing is stuck in your brain because it must be real, that, like, there is something in you that switched on and you're like, man, I like the way that people talk about Martin and his wife. That is something to shoot for.
Well,
and I think that's a good thing to be able to recognize, right? Like, ooh, I like that. That's what I want to do.
Yes.
And that's hard to do.
and
To
it's,
see a good model.
of course,
Yeah.
And
And he's not a conventional one. I don't think many people would think of, like, who do you think is an excellent partner in life? I don't think many people would off the dome be like, oh, Martin Short.
No, it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
But when you watch the documentary, and I have seen clips of it, you're right.
And then every once in a while, and I'm not saying that you could even achieve this, I'm like, there's certain people in life, there's the Tom Brady's of the world.
But why
and
not
stuff.
try?
Yeah, but you can get closer.
Why not try?
And you can get closer. So that,
I'm with you.
And it really is like, and I keep doing the analogy of physical health, and it's like, okay.
Has Christo ever seen you talk about stuff like this? Because
No,
this
I
should
don't
be
talk about
inspiring
it.
to her. Like, he gives a damn, man.
I agree.
Yeah, no,
I think he does.
I only tell you guys. Go back to
I love
just
that
being
he's
grumpy at home. But anyway, so let's just talk about finding a therapist, Colette, because
Number one ask we get, number one email we get that I don't read because,
and finding a relationship therapist, going back to what you said, like you had a bad couples therapist in your
Really
first
bad.
marriage.
Yeah.
Describe what that even means.
So in this case, I could feel something was wrong. Like she would ask questions that were a little inappropriate, or I'll give you this is egregious. She called me one time to check on me between sessions. Well, let me back up. I'm on the brink of divorce. This is the first time I've ever gone to counseling. So we go into couples therapy in crisis. This is back in the early 2000s. So it's a long time ago. I have this idea of like, I don't need counseling, but now I'm in crisis and I need it. So we go to this lady who came recommended. She was very expensive. She didn't charge much less than I charge now all those years ago. And, she had all these credentials that sounded shiny and impressive. And you trust that this is the expert, right? That you know what you're doing and you're in good hands. She would triangulate, which is a psychological term for getting in between, having communication run through her, getting involved in a way that isn't appropriate. I didn't have the clinical knowledge that I have now to understand, but I could feel this feels off to me. And then one time she called me to check on me between sessions, and then she billed me for the call. I mean, that is totally unethical.
Scratch that off your list.
It's one thing.
Yeah, we've been wanting to do that with our listeners. Like, hey, how's the show going? Got to charge you an extra $1 a month. Like, I didn't think that was my idea.
Yeah.
I was like, we call them. I'm like, hey, this is Dan. They're, whoa, Dan for the show. I'm like, yeah, man, how's it going? I'm like, we're gonna up your $2.95 to a $3.95 if that's cool with you. Okay, Dan. All right.
Well, okay, so therapists charge for our time. We're paid by the hour. So if I have a phone call with somebody that's more than 10 minutes, and I try to minimize phone calls between sessions, then I do charge, and that's in my informed consent. That's different. This is her calling me. I didn't call you, and then you bill me. Like, you can't do that. And there were a number of other things. Like, she really sort of conspired with me to ambush my husband about wanting a divorce. I was the one who initially asked for the divorce. So all of that felt good to me at the time. I was a young, scared girl. I didn't know what I was doing. That part felt good, that she was going to help me dump my husband. But I would never approach that way. It's unethical. It actually does harm. And it made me realize, wow, first of all, I'd always been a person people came to talk about things. I've always been one to like deeper conversations, not really surface level. I've always loved psychology and been fascinated by human behavior. And so then when I had that experience, I thought, this is so important. Like, I really think she made my divorce experience worse. And actually, I think My first husband and I could have really made it potentially. I mean, all's well that ends well, but we could have made it. There was a very specific issue happening that has its own protocols that she did not point to. She should have referred us out. Lots of mistakes made, but it made me think this work is so important. It's such an honor and privilege to be alongside people in this vulnerable thing. Relationships are so important. Maybe I could do this. So I give her credit for spawning my entire career, but I look back on that and think, wow, that was a pretty extreme example. But there are problems in the field that not everybody is trained to do couples therapy, and they should be if they're doing it.
So, how does one go about finding the right couples therapist?
We just go wherever couples therapists are found. I listen to the end of the show.
Hey, you just Google
Where are they
couples.
found? I don't know. Wherever they're found.
And then I'll follow that question up with.
That's a great question. It's the number one thing we get asked here is like, hey, how do I pick a therapist?
Okay, so yeah, no. Finish your question. I have lots to say
And then
about
my
this.
follow up to that question is, I can imagine that in certain instances, when couples go to a couples therapist, one of the people in that couple, it's probably, if the therapist doesn't agree with what they are, in there for, like, in every relationship, there's usually a dominator, I call them. Where
well, that's an extremely negative term. I think that you invented for your wife. You call her behind her back. You call her, refer to her as the dominator.
And then the dominator.
That's weird, man. Right? How would you feel if your husband was behind the scenes calling you the dominator?
Although
you're like a character in Running Man. You're that singing opera guy in Running Man. You're like, and ladies and gentlemen, now the dominator. And she gets in a tank and she's singing like opera.
I could see me and Colette's husband having a beer at Ale House.
Where's your dominator?
Where's the dominator? Oh, there, Rebecca.
I mean, I don't think so.
They're back there dominating each other to death.
Shout out to my husband. Today is my 10-year wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Big blast for that guy. Hey,
Crazy,
well done.
right?
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well,
10
I just
years.
think he's coolest dude.
Thank you.
10
Love that guy.
years living with the dominator.
And he's still alive and kicking. And actually, we've done tons of couples therapy.
Okay.
Lots of years
I've
of
never
couples
done it.
therapy, in and out of couples
I've
therapy.
never, Tom and I were talking about this before you got here, and it is the one form of therapy I've never done.
You would love it.
I think I would.
You
I
would
love
love it.
therapy. I love going to therapy. You know what's funny is my wife, though, is extremely logical, a little more like Tom than me. And I wonder if maybe she's not anti any of that, but she ain't going to offer up to go to it immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So back to the question of like, how do you find
Yes.
one?
Yeah.
And then what do you do if one of the people disagree? Or like, we think we should switch this therapist, and the other person's like, I think it's just because they don't agree with you.
yeah, I think that's probably 90% or 80%. Got to be where people
Okay,
say
so
that.
first of all, a good couples therapist shouldn't be agreeing or disagreeing or calling out one person as the problem. There are different models of therapy, and there is something really too that it's not just the model of therapy, that it's the actual person. You want to connect with your therapist and feel a rapport. And if you go to a couples therapist and it doesn't feel like a good fit, either their approach or their personality, then that's legitimate. And you want both people to feel good. But let's back up to even finding someone. I'm really passionate about this topic because obviously I want people to get help. And just to set the stage, we do have a big difference now in the way couples therapy is viewed. And it's increasingly changing. It used to be, even when I started out, that you would get couples more on the brink of divorce or in crisis or right after an affair has been discovered. Of course, that happens. But now I get a lot of people who have really good relationships. They want to communicate better. They want it to be deeper, or something's happened, like a parent got sick or a kid has an issue and they need help talking it through, and they want to deepen their skills and feel more emotional intimacy. Most of my couples, truly, the majority of my caseload is not people in crisis. It's not affairs. It's people who really love each other and can struggle around certain communication things because we get triggered and we go into fight or flight reactions, is the simplest way to put it. We all do it. Good communication is kind of a full body experience, and a lot of people need help with that. Then you add on trauma, which most people have been through, whether neglect, addictions, an abusive parent. a previous partner cheating, being abandoned. I mean, the list goes on. Then all of that's playing out in your brain. So this is something most people need help with. And I just want to say, if you've ever thought about it as like oh, that sounds like scary or yucky, or I don't know if we need that. I think once you go, and if it's a good therapist and a good human, most people come into my office and say, I was dreading this. And in fact, I often ask people when they sit down, how do you feel about being here? And they're like, oh.
I think it's a good question.
Yeah. And sometimes, and I try to break the ice by just starting to acknowledge it's normal to feel nervous. This feels weird. Of course, I go into therapy and it's like my comfort zone, but I do it for a living. For most people, it's scary, but most people will tell me, God, I was dreading this. And this actually felt really good. It should feel natural and relaxed and be a space that you can be yourself and have somebody who helps you to maybe see some stuck places and navigate through them. So that's the first thing. Couples therapy can be for good relationships to get stronger, and I think it increasingly is. The second thing, and I want to really call out a problem that's complicated and, some people could argue I'm a part of, which is that good couples therapy can be very expensive. And my rate is not cheap. And I've spent years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars on my education and my training, 6 years of advanced specialized training. I don't feel bad about my fee. I need it to make a living. There's only so many sessions I can do in a week, and I bring my whole self and I really throw myself into it. That said, not everybody can afford it, and that's a problem, but it's a system problem because good couples therapy training is expensive. So if you don't have enough money to pay for the training, it could be very hard for somebody who doesn't have those funds to actually get the specialized training you need. And then because it's so hard to become a good damn couples therapist, people tend to charge a lot more. It's not like individual therapy. And I'm not taking away from that individual therapy isn't hard, but this is a very different thing. I am in there. I liken it to driving into the funnel cloud of a tornado. Even when couples aren't that highly escalated, there's a lot going on emotionally and you have to be very directive. So a lot of people will say to me, well, I can't find a good couples therapist because they're all so expensive. That is a problem. And there are resources. There are often good, if cost is really prohibitive, there are often at universities, marriage and family clinics. Well, they'll give free sessions and you'll have good people. They may not be as seasoned, but they're really well trained because that's how they're getting their hours.
Right.
There are a lot of therapists who do pro bono sessions to give back. There are ways you're just going to have to investigate a little bit harder. The other part of the cost thing, and people can disagree, but I've seen this as a therapist, I could afford me and I am not wealthy. But a lot of times people will come in and say, oh, that's so expensive. Not really to me. I don't really get people pushing back on my fee who come in, but people in general will say therapy is so expensive. Okay, but then they come in and they're spending all this money on their nails and, they're spending all this money on their social life. So a lot of times there's a difference between some people can't afford certain things and some people, what do you prioritize? What do you want to spend your money on?
Oh, people don't like to hear that, though.
I know.
Oh, don't you tell me. You want me to get rid of my cigarettes?
But don't complain that you can't afford therapy if you're somebody who's spending a lot of money on other things.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
I got you.
Okay, so there's that.
Tom has a gambling addiction.
There you go.
And
You
his
could
friend
be in
Ross
therapy
and
for
his friend
life.
Ross has a gambling addiction.
Well, if I'm spending 100, at least I could possibly make 200 sometimes.
You know what? You turned me
That's
around.
true. That's true.
I'll never make.
Sometimes.
I'll
Me
never
and
make.
Colette both said that was okay.
You can make a year's worth of therapy sessions just on the Kentucky Derby.
I think you're making a lot of sense, and I like ripping the Band-Aid off of the cost because therapy
Yeah.
isn't cheap. I've had
It's
people
not.
write to me and say, like, man, I got nothing, but I need therapy. I'm like, well, let's see if we can find you something through maybe, like you said, a community outreach program, a church,
Yes, there are ways.
places.
You have to get a little creative. And I wish that was easier
Yeah.
to find.
It used to be able to go to the, what was it, like Psychology Today? You could
Yeah,
go to the
you can
back.
still do that.
Or like
Okay.
even on their website, they have a listing, and then like a lot of counselors will opt in, and they'll even tell you
Yep.
like, oh, I'm doing this pro bono, or I've got this many
Yes.
sessions.
And
It
I
might-
used to do a lot of sliding scale. A lot of people will do sliding scale.
And be open to telemedicine because some of these people
Yeah.
can offer up their Zoom call, but they can't see you in person.
Yeah, and
well,
sometimes it's cheaper. Yeah.
sometimes you might have to take what you can get. Now, why am I saying that? Because when was it when I was looking for my
It's
therapist?
better than nothing.
Do you remember that when I was looking for a therapist? therapist. I couldn't find one, and it felt like I was looking for a therapist for like a year to find the right person.
Yeah.
And they were all filled up, and I couldn't find any of them.
It was Zoom
and,
calls
and,
only.
And it was Zoom calls only. And you know what? I took it.
Right.
And
And
you-
also, there are some, I mean, this is the reality. There are a lot of expensive therapists who suck, who absolutely
Right.
suck. And there are a lot of inexpensive therapists who are really good. And these terms are very subjective to what you can afford. So I don't mean to be insensitive to anybody's circumstances. And I just want to acknowledge that it is a problem and a lot of people complain about, and they have a justified reason. But, you know, it's the way the system needs to change, and it needs to become. I could get on a soapbox about this, that we need different health care. Everyone should have health care. And frankly, if therapists were paid well by insurance companies and what we deserve for how hard we work and how much school we do, then we'd all take insurance. So in an ideal world, you would have access to good therapists through your insurance. We're not there yet. I hope it changes. In the meantime, start with churches, ask friends, look on psychologytoday.com, and always, like in Orlando, UCF has a fantastic clinic. They offer free sessions.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how hard it is to get in, but they have good people who are getting good training. That can be a great resource if you don't have money for a therapist.
Okay, cool. How important is it for life experience to play into a couples therapist? Like you mentioned UCF, like I can imagine I'm there with my old lady and we're sitting there.
No, Dominator. Call her name. It's a Dominator, baby.
And I'm talking to a 19-year-old and they're telling me but it's more about the
This
principle.
Dominator's driving me crazy.
And you follow a model. You
Yeah.
follow a model of therapy. That said, I think particularly, I mean, therapy is one of the only careers where in many ways you're more valuable as time goes on because you have more wisdom, you have more life experience. I think I'm a better relationship therapist having been divorced, having dated as an adult,
Sure, yeah.
blending a family, getting remarried. I can relate to a lot of what people are saying. No, do you have to have that to be a good therapist? No, but I would not go to a 26-year-old couples therapist in my 50s, you know?
I mean, I would, but only for, perverted reasons.
But if it's all you
My
have,
husband admitted that in his first marriage, he thought the first therapist was hot. And now she's a friend of mine.
Oh, really?
well, really?
At the time,
I
I'm like,
knew I
no
loved your
wonder
husband.
your
This guy is
your
awesome.
marriage fell. He's like, well,
Oh.
I wasn't inappropriate. He's like, but I was thinking, wow, she's nice looking. I'm like,
Yeah, get it, man.
What if she seduces us?
Yeah.
And the
That's what
older
I
you
would've-
get, the less interested anyone is in the therapist.
Every session I have with my therapist, before I walk in, I go, she's not seducing you. I have to talk myself down.
Oh my God, I love
I'm
it.
joking.
This is
So
how
it's
men
not-
think.
so-
Can we take a few questions to the chat room
Yeah,
just
yeah,
real
yeah, let's
quick?
hear 'em.
Just because they're coming in, and
yeah.
I'll hit them while we're on the topic, and then we'll go back to your question. Do you recommend single sessions if they can't afford regular appointments? Is a question. Then her follow up, and this is more of a statement. This person did go to the UCF clinic that
Yeah.
you're talking about and had an amazing experience.
Yes,
So,
yes. It's
that's-
really good. I almost did my internship there.
Yeah, so apparently, so one vote for UCF out there. If you're in the need, maybe
Yeah.
go to their webpage and see what you can find. But would you suggest them trying to get a single session if they can't afford the couple session?
To go in one time?
Or maybe go in like he goes in one time and then you go in the next time if you can't afford it at the same time. Like, can you
Oh,
find a
to-
therapist maybe that would let you do
Individual.
sessions? Or
I
is that
mean,
even a thing? Or?
Yeah, you're not going to get much out of that for couples.
Gotcha.
I mean, truly, honestly. Because,
No, I like that answer.
Yeah, you need I'm not saying you can't get anything, but this is the part people are missing about the couples piece. And then I want to say something. I want to hear your question. I want to say something about specifically finding a couples therapist versus a therapist. You need the relational context, meaning you need the person there. So let me give an example that'll make this more accessible. If I have an anger problem and I'm going to go to therapy for an anger problem, a lot of people will say, well, you need to go work on yourself. That's not really your partner. The problem is if you go in and talk about your anger problem with your individual therapist, you're not likely to make a ton of progress on it as much as you might make with the partner there pushing your buttons. And it doesn't have to just be anger. You need that context of the partners there pushing on you. We have to get people into a little bit of what shows up in their dynamic to help them work with it. Otherwise, it's just cognitive concepts. We need people a little bit activated and in the emotions that happen in the
So
relationship.
Tom in therapy not as good as Tom in therapy with Dominator dominating him.
Exactly.
Makes sense to me.
And ideally, what I like for most of my couples is that they're doing individual
Dominator,
and
you
couples.
dick.
So you're working on yourself with an individual therapist and you're working on yourself in the couples thing. I think if you have a pretty good relationship and maybe you haven't accumulated bad patterns for years, you could go to couples therapy even for a handful of sessions, say 5 sessions, and probably get a good run. If there's been an
That's not that
affair
many either,
or you're
man.
really
Yeah.
disconnected, it's going to take a good year plus.
So,
There you go.
okay, another analogy towards working out, but it really does make sense to me.
It's your
this way.
language, man.
So, like, I feel you can, like, having a personal trainer or affording that they're expensive, right?
Yeah,
But
very.
there is, like, you can go to a personal trainer for a short amount of time, pick up all the knowledge, and then even if you can't afford it anymore, at least you have the knowledge
a
and the
base.
tools
Yeah.
from that professional to move forward with.
Yes.
Now, even if that's not an option, Colette, like, let's say you are real, the money is real tight,
Yeah.
right?
And it is. A lot of people are telling me that right now.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause-
especially right now.
Yeah,
Things are
I get
so
it.
expensive.
I absolutely
And
get it.
from what I've seen from the program Cops, poor people have the most interesting relationships.
Spicy, very
It's
spicy.
very spicy.
Yeah, they
And
like it spicy.
so
That's all they got. Their
let's say-
currency is spice.
Let's say a couples therapy is out of the question totally, right?
Okay.
And even though they do offer free services, sometimes that's not. Can you do something yourself?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So, for example,
You
I
can
have.
buy her book.
Yes, my book gives you a lot, The Cost of Quiet. I also have a digital course on my website. I forgot about that, where I go through some of the concepts that I do in couples therapy and give you, it's much less expensive and you can work through that on your own. And I'm not the only one who does that. If you don't want mine, there are like Gottman Institute has tons of digital courses and ebooks. So there's a lot of value to those things, especially if things haven't gotten that hard. It's like a personal trainer. Some people won't do it if someone isn't making them, but also a lot of people, you're getting stuck in what happens in your limbic system and fight or flight, in old wounds coming up. Sometimes it can be hard to work through it on your own, but there's a lot of value in that. And that might be a good place to start and try. And for people who have insurance, for example, a lot of therapists don't take insurance. I don't take insurance, but a lot do. And one place to start would be, if you're looking for a couples therapist, look up your provider and get a list of who's on your plan, who accepts your insurance. Because I'll get people reaching out to me. Do you accept Blue Cross? Do you accept this? I don't accept anything. And then I always want to give people a referral, but I don't know what therapist takes what insurance.
I have the
is.
general health. It's a new thing they're doing. Yeah.
But
He's friends with
if you go to your insurance and look for a list, look for a licensed marriage and family therapist, somebody who has an LMFT credential. There are licensed mental health counselors who are also trained in couples therapy, but it's a good way to start if you want to use your insurance. Also, a lot of companies offer EAP sessions, and sometimes employees don't know this, that a lot of companies will offer some free therapy. I get calls about that a lot too. So there
Clear Channel did. iHeart does not.
Okay.
No,
But-
I used to take advantage. Man,
Yeah.
can I just be an old man for a second because I
Yes.
turn 50 tomorrow? Insurance used to cut. Man, I used to go when I was even going to a therapist here in town. He took all my insurance. I got so many sessions. I got medical massage. I got everything.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, I got everything. And then something happened. It's almost like the insurance companies don't care about me anymore.
Imagine
and
that.
everything is
Yeah.
gone. And now
Yeah.
they don't cover nothing.
Yeah.
And my therapist, he stopped. And there was a period of time that I went without therapy. That was a big transition in my life because
Yeah.
everything changed. And I was like, well, that
And
sucks.
see,
That was
that's
part
what
of my
I hope
medical.
changes. I hope that we get. I don't know.
They
how
took it
it's gonna
away. This is
happen.
like early, I wouldn't say like 2006, 7, and 8. Early 2000s, 03, 04. Man, I had medical massage. You could go get therapy. You could just go on a whim. Like if I was having a rough week,
Oh, that's
I could make
great.
an appointment. He'd submit it. He got paid well. It was fine. something changed.
That's great. I mean, it should. I mean, it's great that you had that, and I hope we have more.
It's not like
of
that
I
anymore,
know.
really. So I feel people's pain when they're talking about how hard it is to dial this in.
Absolutely.
You are going to have to work a little bit, but you can do it.
Yeah, and also there is, let's just give a shout out. There's 988, which is the crisis hotline, and you can call that. And I'm sure, like, you can call that if you're experiencing suicidal ideation, if you're dealing with domestic violence. I mean, you can call 988 for anything. And not that we want to like flood the crisis line, but I'm sure if you're struggling and needing services and don't have money to spend and don't know where to start, call. You know, Google. This is where technology can also be helpful, that people can point you in the right direction. I think the bigger issue, though, and I want to make sure I stress this, whether you're going to use insurance or try to find free services or pay an expensive therapist, you have to, if you're going for couples therapy, you have to ask the therapist some questions. And this is what people need to know. First of all, how much of your caseload or how much of your practice is couples? If they say they see 1 or 2 couples, you don't want to go to this person.
Okay.
They're just not going to know. And they may be a fantastic therapist. It has taken me years to feel like I know what I'm doing, even like 10%. I mean, it is not an easy job. So you want someone who's seasoned. 2, ask them what model they use. The models, there are certain models of couples therapy. Gottman, emotionally focused couples therapy, relational life therapy, Imago. I'm just naming a few of the top ones that are most
Tom
well-known.
thought you were casting a spell on
You-
him. Yeah, man.
I'm saying
you ain't doing
weird-
that wizard crap to me, Harry
Toxic
Potter.
thinking at me.
Don't you Levioso me.
But you want a therapist who uses a model. It's really important. You don't want somebody waiting around and what they think or what they learned from their 25 years of marital bliss. That is not what this is about. This is a
Right.
science-based thing. It's not about advice.
You got him back in. He loves science.
yeah,
Did you
It
see him
is.
smile? Did you see him
It
smile
is.
when you said that? Man, I'm telling you, if you wanted to hook this guy, if you needed to get him into therapy, you just start pouring the science on him, and he'll be there. He'll show
I'll
up.
tell you, I think if both of you guys went to someone good, I think you would be amazed at how it would enrich your relationship.
Can we be actually rich? Because that's what I
Yeah,
really
that's what
want.
we need.
If
Not
we can-
enrich, just
No,
rich.
no. We don't
Yeah,
care about
but-
that kind of enrichment. We
but-
want the riches.
You
We
know
want jewels. Can we get jewels?
Here's the weird thing about me and Daniel's relationship is I've thought about that before. Like, we need to be better connected because that will help the show content. And if that helps the show content, we'll get more listeners. If more listeners mean more money, that's what I
Yes.
want.
So we've started.
So
we
go
have
to
started
couples-
69ing every morning, and it is disgusting. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I'm picturing
I can't do it because I'm not
picturing
gay,
it.
and I can't do it. I'll try. I try.
I do it for the money, and I got.
I know, it's amazing what you can do for money.
I'm like, I need a cup of coffee after.
I know.
Get the taste out of my mouth.
Black coffee.
I am way too visual. Now I'm picturing the two
How does
of
that
you.
work?
Like,
I'm
super-
5'2". He's
Yeah, yeah,
5'7".
yeah,
How does
yeah.
that even work?
Yeah, he's licking my chest.
Yeah. I get lucky on that one. What he's doing, you'll have to tune in tomorrow. You'll have to tune in tomorrow.
I get the worst part of it.
You do. You really do.
Yeah.
And that's
we should
coming from me.
switch.
God
Anyway,
forbid
sorry.
we have a serious discussion about therapeutic
I knew you
value.
were going to say that at some point on this show. I knew you were going to mom us.
It's
I
okay,
knew
I
you were
love
going
it.
to mom us
I
real
love it.
bad. Because Andrea moms us, Crystal moms us, you mom us. That would show that we are very immature.
I love moms.
But also,
That's a
humor,
category.
you know,
Sorry.
humor is a useful tool. It is. It is. It's like, it's nice to have some laughter mixed in with the heavy stuff.
Okay,
I don't think
just
it's a bad thing at all.
personally, I will say when me and my wife are laughing together, our marriage and everything is better. And then it's like
Agreed.
That is a science-based thing.
yeah,
Agreed.
and
That's
then
real.
and then
Yep.
and then she's happier, better mood. We're joking around, and I'm like, man, I got to remember to force this. Like, not even, you know.
I
know,
think we
so-
both agree on that.
I gotta.
I think if we had to pinpoint one thing that, because we're different people, but we have a lot of similarities. But the one thing that I think, if somebody asks, what would you rather do more than anything? Laugh with our families?
Yeah.
100%.
Very
More
high.
than anything.
Maybe number. It's
Yeah.
got to be number one.
Agreed.
I just gave myself goosebumps.
Back to me and Daniel's relationship, I learned that when I come in here and then like we have a lot going on. We're planning this event or this or whatever, and then when things, I'm like, okay, we gotta, head down, get to work,
Yeah.
and grind. And when I get into that grind mode, the show's content suffers, and then me and Daniel's connection gets
Yeah, our
lost.
connection suffers.
And then
Yes.
I'll like be.
And it's not just you; it's equal parts. Like sometimes
And
I'm
I'm like,
trying
who
to
cares?
do this, and I don't care.
And I'm
just
like,
don't care about it. It doesn't matter. Just be funny.
And then I'm like, connection, get to work. Who cares? Yeah, but we're doing some art here or something. That if the connection's not there, our art suffers.
You've
I
got
know
to be vibrating.
I know how gay that sounds.
Yep.
No, he doesn't like that, but he sees it. Oh man,
No, I'm
you
joking.
have this show has changed you.
I agree.
I give Colette full credit for this. I'm going to blame you. I'm going to say you
give
did
us
this.
all credit
No.
together.
We
what
don't.
create
We
together.
tear down what you build up, but you. Luckily, you're powerful enough to get through us.
So, but it's the same
what I
when life gets hard in my personal life. When the kids, when school time, it's easy. In the summer, it calms down a little bit. But like school time, wife's PTA, these events, the kids' school, all these things.
You were doing it yesterday. My
Work
daughter
is-
saw you in traffic, and she thought you were sad. My daughter was. My Andrea and Maisie were going to pick up some takeout, and they saw him in traffic. He's running his hand out his face. Maisie's like, he's sad.
And then I constantly have
God.
to remind myself, like, hey, we got to lighten up here. We got to add some jokes in here, add some, like,
I'm
you know,
glad
because
you do that.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
And all relationships need this. So, there's a thing, I'm sure I've mentioned it a million times on the show, maybe even last week, negative sentiment override. Did I talk about this?
No.
So this is a science-based thing. John Gottman is the leading scientist for relationships. He studied couples for more than 40 years. He built a love lab in Seattle. I know I've mentioned this before. They brought couples in and they put little nodules on them and they watched how they interacted for years and years and years. Okay. So, and he has a whole model of couples therapy, and also his site has a lot of resources. So Gottman's great. And one of the things he found is what are the predictors of divorce? And the top predictors, he calls them the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, are criticism, stonewalling, which is when you give someone the silent treatment, defensiveness, and contempt. And he has famously said he can predict who will get divorced within 90 seconds of listening to them talk to one another. This is what catapulted him to fame years ago.
It's almost like a
Now-
party trick.
Yes.
I love.
Yes.
Oh man,
But
Tom
it's
and I love stuff
because
like
of the
that.
presence of these 4 things. And now what he found is that when couples have too many interactions that don't go well, this is why I wrote a whole book about not avoiding hard conversations and how to have them.
Yeah.
Because when couples avoid, they get stuck, things don't get worked out, negative sentiment builds. And John Gottman identified that couples get to this place called negative sentiment override, where they've tipped over. He uses a bank account analogy, where if you have a lot of money in the bank and your car breaks down and it's 10 grand, all right, maybe it's not that big of a deal. If you have $100 in your bank account and you have a car problem that's 10 grand, you are screwed, right?
Yeah.
So when couples get out of positive sentiment override and into negative, then even little things that would be neutral or an opportunity to laugh or you slough it off become huge arguments, points of contention, disconnection. Oh, that he's doing that again. She sucks, right? It takes people to the worst place.
Yeah.
So we've got to keep our relationships out of negative sentiment override, because when we get there, even the smallest interactions are viewed very negatively and we don't give our partner the benefit of the doubt. And what you're talking about, that laughter, we need that. Couples need that. They need lightness, they need play, and part of this comes ironically by dealing with conflict, dealing with small things that have upset you, actually talking them through. That's how you stay in the zone, where you laugh a lot and you play and things stay spicy in the bedroom. So it's the opposite of what people think, and it's very important to stay out of negative sentiment.
I had to put the camera on him every time Spicy in the bedroom said. I had to put the camera directly on Tom.
It's hard. It takes work, but just like everything else, you know. It's like,
Yes.
But it's worth it, man.
yeah, like I look at it's like keeping your house clean. Like every time we clean our our house, I yell at my family. I'm like, we have to keep it like this because we're going to fall back into mental illness that we were living in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when the laundry's piled up and there's things everywhere, it's a trash. I'm like,
And how
well,
good does it
mentally ill.
feel when you walk around and it looks nice?
Yeah,
Oh.
no, yeah.
Oh, I love
then
it.
you're
That
like,
actually is a mental health thing.
I
no,
love it. I love
Yeah.
it when my pillows are right on the couch.
There's
then-
something to that.
Love it.
it starts with small, like, the cereal box is out. We got to put it away because we're getting close. It's like that. It takes work, and then it's easy to fall back in. Then next thing you know, it's like
That's the
gotta put in
analogy
work.
for the relationship. It's like, do you put little things away? Do you take the time to clean up as you go through your day? And if you don't, your house is going to be a mess. It's the same thing in a relationship. Do you take the time to talk through the little blip that hurt your feelings and repair? That's what couples need to do, because what you'll find is when couples are in negative sentiment override, they could go to a comedy show. It could be Chris Rock live, an audience of 40, and they're not laughing because they're freaking miserable together. So that ability to laugh comes from that you've built up, you have a big bank account in that relationship. You clean up stuff as you go, you stay connected, you make the relationship a priority, and then you don't probably have to go to couples therapy, even though you might still enjoy
Well,
it.
you've been present the whole time.
Yes.
You've been involved.
You got to be
You
intentional.
do. You have to be in there.
Yes, and that laughter with your wife, with your kids, being on the couch, playing a board game like we've talked about, that's the stuff that life's about.
You brought
Very
that up.
little
You
else.
said you
Yes.
brought that up.
That's
like,
what I
it's
was
one of
harkening
your
back
one
to.
of your things, right, man?
All I can think about is when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his
Yeah.
wife. Because his
How-
wife.
how-
That's so dysfunctional.
And meanwhile, the wife's like cheating on him like crazy, and they have a terrible relationship.
Yeah, the whole
Okay.
thing. Yeah, that was
Was
such.
it-
That was all based in dysfunction. I feel like
Well,
his slap was a reaction to. I feel like her lack of respect for him. Almost, he felt like he needed to do it because, like, if I do that, then maybe they'll think like it's all just
Yeah.
toxic.
Toxic.
Gross. Oh,
Yeah.
so gross. It's
And
gross.
Chris Rock did you either of you guys go to his show when he came to Orlando a
Well,
couple
we did.
years
No,
ago?
I
I
saw
went.
yeah.
It was so good. And he made one reference to it. It was very classy the way he handled it. But that whole thing was a total.
And what
Yeah.
do we? Yeah.
That red table
What-
talk thing that she did was
Oh,
just,
she-
oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
lord.
Yeah.
Like, what's the ending
There's
with
a
that?
mess going on
When
there.
you see someone like Will Smith and Jada Pinka or whatever.
Jada
Jada Pinkett.
Let's go to our entertainment
Jada
correspondent.
Pinkett.
Tom, what's happening in Hollywood? Let's go to our entertainment guy. Tom on the street is live from Hollywood. Hi, you're on Rodeo. Tom, what's going on with the celebrities?
What do you have such a weirdo name? Just have a normal name.
Jada Pinkett.
Anyway, when you see a couple like that,
You sound like a farmer reading Inquirer for the first time, right? Jada Pinkett.
I don't know what these people, crazy
You don't know
people's
Jada
names are.
Pinkett Smith?
Yeah, I know it, but it's a weirdo. Why have three weirdo names?
Because she is.
Smith is
everything
fine.
with her. I
Smith
mean,
is
it checks
fine.
out, right? Everything with her is extra. Everything with her is like she's one of those people who's like, I'm cheating on my husband. I'm not cheating on my husband. This year I'm gay. This year I'm not gay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call
Like,
you
come on,
Mrs. Smith.
That's good.
Actually, that's accurate. Whenever Tom verges on the inappropriate are the best moments of my day.
I love it.
It's the funniest.
Now you see why I
That's when
love it so
cry.
much. Yeah, it's so fun.
How many men live like that? Where you're just like, I mean, that's a real dominator.
Like a walking,
Yeah, that's
a
Queen
walking
Dominator.
volcano. A lot, probably. Sadly.
Yeah, and then the guy thinks he's like in charge and whatever, and then the whole world's like, oh, buddy, look at
Yeah. Well, the difference is what a lot of people don't have is the entitlement, the money, and the fame to be able to act like they can get away with that. There are a lot of people that have rage, that don't know how to regulate themselves, but they don't feel entitled to march up and punch someone in the middle of a production, which is totally obnoxious no matter the reason.
Yeah.
It's violent, it's
Yeah.
inappropriate.
It's not adult behavior.
No, it's absurd, and it does. Part of it comes from entitlement, and there can be an element of that in abuse, coercive control.
Yeah.
It's dominating over a real dominator, and it's
It's number
power
one
and it's entitlement.
immaturity, right? Like to go straight to hitting is like what 3-year-olds do. It's
People do that all the time with it, just like minor things that someone their wife has an interaction with, and it turns violent
Yep.
because you feel like you need to protect them in an insane way.
It's the single solitary reason I don't act out my road rage that I feel is that I think someone will shoot me.
yeah.
It's the only thing
the
Stop
key
it.
is, you know,
So, right there.
the key is you got to elevate it to a level where no one will mess with you. Like
Yeah, but
I'm out there
the way
waving.
people are these days.
Oh, I
you
wave
could,
my
like,
gun around all the time.
Yeah,
in
Well, there
traffic.
you
yeah,
go.
you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
a gun,
And
Colette.
yeah,
Come
I
on.
wave right
I do
around.
need a gun.
I'm always waving
I
it.
need a gun.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Cost of Quiet. Find it anywhere books are found. And if you want to send us an email, it's hello@lovethyneighborshow.com.
What the hell?
And send us an email. If you have any question, we'll answer it on the show.
One day I'm gonna go full Howard Stern with Colette here.
Let's do it.
And you will be Robin. Oh, we'll do it. We'll do it.
I
I'm Baba
love
Booey.
Robin.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're my
you're
Gary.
Baba Booey.
Oh my
I
God.
need big old teeth.
I'll get you fake teeth online, and I'll wear a wig.
All right.
Oh, let's do it. That would be so fun.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Like Tom said, hello@lovethyneighborshow.com if you want to leave an email.
And we will see you next week.
All right, we did it. We're still on Twitch and
Awesome.
YouTube.
Okay.
Great
So
job.
let's take a video.
Yeah, I'm gonna, guys. We're gonna put on a little music
I
so we can
think
do.
we should get a
video.
couple to come in.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
working on
trying.
that.
Okay.
We will be right back.
Who's friends with, I forgot.
All right, we are back. Tom is using the bathroom. We're waiting on our next guest here. Get out of here. Let's get this. Having trouble waking up today for some reason. Weird. Might be that Knicks game last night. That was pretty amazing. All right, that's good to go. It's working. DeBerry Joe is eating Taco Bell and Costa Rican hot sauce. The Costa Rica.
How long is he in Costa Rica?
Well, no, he's back now. I think he's
Oh.
back. He's back. Let's see here. Christine says, any big plans for your birthday show tomorrow? No, we don't have any plans tomorrow, right? We're just doing
Savannah's coming.
Savannah's coming in. She's gonna just tell us about her Moroccan trip, I believe.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get me no surprises tomorrow. You don't have any you don't have any little people stop by, little person stripper.
That would have been pretty good. I think I should have planned something.
1 year,
Had a little person
do
stripper.
you remember 1 year on the morning show they got me a black stripper? And
that was before my time.
And they thought it was going to be weird. I think they were doing a joke. They're like, "Oh, we got Dan a black show, but we got him a black stripper." And I was like, "And?" You know what I mean? I was like, "Yes, and yes, please." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
I was like, "Oh yeah," and they were like, "Oh, well, that wasn't the reaction." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not racist." So
Yeah.
I mean, this lady's fucking hot as hell, and she's dancing on me with her titties out.
Oh, there was a
And I was into it, dude.
in the early 2000s.
Yeah, Shred Bear said, really twisted my arm. Yeah, you
It
got
was
beautiful.
racist.
Yeah, it would have been like
It
a
was
whole fish out
insanely
of
racist.
It was like a bit of fish out of water type thing, and I was like, yeah, I like all of this.
What was said on the radio in the early 2000s, especially the late 90s, forget about it.
Real bad. Real bad.
But I mean, it is.
Anything goes.
I mean, it's insane how
Anything
racist
goes.
it was.
Anything goes.
Like, shocking.
And what happens
That's coming
next?
from me.
Let's see here. That's all good. That's all good.
But it's a different time, and back then it was just like
It was
that's
awesome,
That's
though.
what it was.
I'll tell you. And then another time, because they was always like trying to make me uncomfortable, you know. Oh, I got Mike, and they did a massage for me one time, and I was like, "Well, this is fine. I can just take my pants off and get a massage."
Well, you'll take the power away from that,
but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
honestly does
Yeah.
not. I'll be naked in front of anybody, don't give a fuck, and they were like, "Oh shit, he's not reacting to this one."
Yeah, yeah. Well, they want you to do the radio thing. You exaggerate how hard or
can't do that.
how much the mousetrap hurts.
I can't do it.
Because the mousetrap closes, and you're just like, "Ow, this is not good." You know, you're gonna
Right.
be like, "Ah!"
Yeah, you
So, yeah,
you're a
exactly.
showman. I would get to that point, and I'd be like, I don't want to do this.
So
Let's see. I put Mike in here, but it's not connecting for some reason. He might have to try again. Mike, can you hear us, buddy? I'm excited to talk to this guy. It's been a minute since we've talked to him, right? I added him, and then I think it may have booted him out. Yeah, I like tallies. I like tall women. I like women. Like, I don't really... Yeah, I like ladies. All of them. Like the Beastie Boys song. Oh, I got him. I think we had like a hiccup. There he is.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's up, buddy?
Oh my goodness, what's up, guys?
How are you, man?
Good. My computer being off for a week is, you know how it is.
Your level is really low, though, by chance or for some reason. Can you give me a little more, maybe? Is that possible?
Yeah, let me give you a different microphone.
Thank you, sir.
How about that?
Oh,
one?
yeah. Now we got the
Yeah, yeah.
juice. Thank you, buddy. That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you. You look good, man. I've been seeing you've been having the time of your life. I've been seeing you. I need to go cruising.
yeah.
I'm jealous. I am ripe for a cruise.
They're fun, man. Next year you all should do it. You did do one.
Yeah,
We'll probably do it again.
We're discussing. We're in the midst of planning. Let's say I don't want to get anybody hopes up because certain things have to fall into place. Like you did Mike's Weather Page cruise. You know, there's like sponsors involved. You got to get and like you got to make sure everything's organized behind the scenes before you launch anything. You know,
It's hard, man. I mean, your guy kind of helped me get the idea started. What was his name? Craig or Tony?
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Krager, though.
Just did Margaritaville, and I think they have a lot better comp policy. I think it's 13 rooms. You get one cabin or something, so that was good.
Okay.
All right. We'll mention it to our guy. Cool. All right, Mr. Van. Let's not waste this man's time. Would you
What do
like?
you guys want to talk about?
Well, I figure. Well, we'll go over a bunch of different stuff. Like obviously hurricane season. I kind of want to talk about the. I'm gonna joke around about the freeze. If you think another freeze is gonna happen, because it destroyed all my plants, and it's still devastated my backyard. I'm ripping out palm trees that have died. But and then I wanted to see. Can you talk about the cruise and like?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to talk.
About the earthquake, man. We were over it.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Let's definitely talk about the earthquake.
Okay.
Because I have a theory on that too.
And would you do you mind talking about senior frogs too, or
Is that
Oh yeah.
okay?
Okay,
All right.
okay.
We'll make sure we just want to
I
make
just
sure
saw your
we're,
post about it, and then I wanted to,
we didn't want to bring it up like a gotcha or something.
Yeah.
You know, like we're
Hey,
not
you
like
know
that.
what? I'm like you guys. I put it out there anymore.
I feel you. Well, that's why we love you, man, because you're
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Van, why don't you begin?
Sure.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube. If you like watching podcasts, come on over. Search at Tom and Dan Live. You might actually see us and then see a very famous friend of ours that knows a lot about weather.
On Zoom with us right now, Mike from Mike's Weather Page. How you doing, Mike?
Good, man. Happy to be on your show. Another
Appreciate
year,
it.
man. A lot of years doing this with you guys.
Yeah,
No,
we
no,
appreciate that, man. We know that when all the news stations come a calling that they're going to want you, and we appreciate you always giving us a little bit of time, man. That's very kind to you.
So, Mike, you were on a cruise when the earthquake happened, and I want to talk to you about that. So, first, tell us about it.
Well, yeah, we were smack dab over the epicenter of this 6.1, sitting at the Flip Flop Bar in Margaritaville. My buddy Phil, which I think you all met once.
Yeah.
The ship started shaking, and it did not feel normal. And I remember looking at him and saying, something ain't right. Like, what? This isn't good. And it went on for about a minute, and it was a different type of a shake. It was like, the water was calm. Everybody ran outside, after this happened, I heard, and nobody saw any waves. It was a seismic pulse of energy, like a P wave, I think they call it. And the crazy thing is, I met a guy that worked. He's retired from the Navy, and he was a mine detonator. And he said that's his first reaction was it was some sort of a underground, explosion almost, and it literally was that. It's just crazy.
That is crazy. And I know people, and here's the thing, Mike, me and Daniel were, behind the scenes doubting that anybody here in Central Florida actually felt the earthquake because we thought they just saw it on social media and then said they felt it.
Well, not to be you, and Tom is our
Oh, then people started attacking me. They're like, I bet Tom thinks no one felt it, and you're right.
Well, you're our skeptic, right? Like, you are our king skeptic, Tom is. And there is a real thing in the seismic community where experts say that, and it's a phenomenon. You can look it up. There's a term for it that I'm blanking on right now, but it's as soon as an earthquake is reported, you can never go on feels like, or I felt this, or I felt that, because as soon as it's reported, people just start misfeeling things, or like, oh, I thought I felt it, or I felt it over here, or I felt it this far, and they're like, we can't take any of that. We can't. That's not science. That's just you read the Facebook post and now you felt because you want to feel. Now, Mike was on top of this baby.
Yeah. You were,
You are on it.
And then you're right. When there's like a torpedo explodes underwater or whatever, like submarines can feel it, the vibrations from it, miles and miles away from it. And with an event this big,
were you scared at all a little bit, Mike?
I was more worried about the motor, like the engine. It sounded like the propeller or something broke big time.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, and then they slowed down, obviously, part of the protocol, I'm sure. So a buddy of mine's a captain, he fishes, and he's like, we're down to like 8 knots. Like, I'm like, oh, crap, we're going to be stuck here, the poop cruise or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Could you poop in a bag? Do you think you could you poop in a bag?
I don't think they make bags big enough.
Hey, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. That's an answer that Senior Frog would say. That's the answer Senior Frog would say.
The
Big frog bag.
The coolest thing was we had a presentation on the ship the next day, and they brought an officer down from the ship, part of the presentation, and he had audio. This was the coolest thing ever, man. So they have a channel, I think 16 is the world, channel for emergencies on water, and they got a message from a ship that was 20 miles away that was a cargo ship, and they were radioing like Islander, and it's that old CB sounded radio. And they were like, did you just feel that? Like, they were trying to confirm what just happened, and to hear the two ships communicate back and forth with the audio really makes it real. Because nobody knew what the hell just happened.
It feels like somebody's taking a massive crap in a bag. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, it was all good.
It's cool that you get to do that kind of stuff. It's cool that you were out there at the time. I mean, this is kind of like this is definitely your thing. So it had to be beyond exciting to be out there in the middle of it,
Well, I love the stories, listening to everybody. Everybody had a different story, everybody, it's weird. It's almost like a hurricane in a sense that, we all have a story, where they were, what they were feeling, what they're in the crew. Talking to the crew, they were all like not scared. A couple of them kind of acted like they weren't scared, but they, you could definitely tell that it was not a normal thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well, it's a bizarre for us to even talk about earthquakes here in Florida.
Big one.
Now, does something like that, from your perspective as a a person of weather, and you're out there in it, does this start to make you think, oh, that we could get more of these? Do you want to go down that? Like, is this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It was a weird area. I guess there was a couple the day before and after. So the Earth was definitely rocking. I mean, that was the second largest ever in the Gulf. The other one was in the 50s in the lower BOC there. So really, it was the record in our generation. So that very odd
yeah.
to get one that big. Hell, it could have been it. Maybe a UFO crash. I don't know.
I know.
Maybe,
Disclosure day is tomorrow, so it'd be a little bit early. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
It could have been, but it wasn't a Godzilla event. Yeah. So hey, it was fun.
So, Mike, before we get into hurricane season, I want to talk about I want to talk about the potential for another freeze to come, which I know is stupid to talk about.
No, don't. Because this is something you're into. Don't belittle.
Okay.
He has a beautiful. We had.
No,
he doesn't like talking about it. He had a beautiful backyard, Mike. I mean, tropical plants, crazy. He spent not only a lot of money, but man, how many hours would you say you had? Hundreds of hours.
Oh, 10,000 hours.
Yeah, he had like 10,000 hours in this backyard, and the freeze killed everything, and now he's concerned about freezes from here on out.
Yeah, okay, because I'm I'm digging everything out, all the dead palm trees that had no business living in Central Florida, by the way. They're like native to Fiji. And
very exotic.
Yeah. And so I know that, but I was counting on global warming and never getting cold again. Anyway, we had a 20-year freeze come through. And we were still seeing, like, every time you drive past a brown palm tree, I mean, like,
it's everywhere, man.
You're reminded of this freeze that happened. So, like, in your opinion, I know it's stupid to even ask about this in the dead middle of summer, but is this, is this thing we expect every 20 years? Could this happen again this year?
I think, unfortunately, yes. I mean, we're going to be an El Nino weather pattern, which everybody loves to say El Nino, but it brings a cooler winter. This is the way the subtropical jet stream. So, yeah, I don't think it's unheard of to think we'll have some cold snaps again. Now, I mean,
you should see how sad look how sad he is. Like, because he knows because he wants to start planting new trees, right? And that would be like very irresponsible.
I would go for a little more hardy.
Oh, you don't like oaks.
Some invention like we talked about last time with some sort of light bulb setup or something.
Oh, he's been talking about that too.
Yeah, I'm going that route. I'm going to plant the Fijis and then get a blanket and heater system like a crazy person. And when the next time the freeze happens, but it's because of El Nino, right? Like it's
definitely brings cooler winters to the south. Whether or not it's freeze, I mean, it's I remember the freezes back in the day. Holy crap! When it was like in the teens, killed all the oranges. So, it happens. I mean, and I think it's a part of Florida. You just don't know when, or the strawberry farmers need it. Like that's what the crazy thing is. Like they rely on a really cold snap to make the strawberries a little sweeter.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, they told me that's why there's this one. For some reason, Plant City, I heard that spot in climate is the perfect. That's why they don't really have strawberries anywhere else. They need a little cold, not a lot, and that's what
it's like the perfect recipe to get tasty strawberries. That's crazy. That's interesting, man.
So, Mike, what about hurricane season this season? Because I've seen, and a lot of us have seen social media about because of El Nino, that is could cause a lot more hurricanes or weather because of that effect.
Everything's warmer, right?
Yeah, they just released updated numbers right now. Colorado State, which everybody laughs about, they're the ones everybody listens to, and they're in Colorado. But they lowered their projections for the season, and it's all because of this El Nino. I hate the emotions involved when you hear a below average season, or thankfully, because it only, people hear it all the time. It only takes one, and with Florida, we stick out like a sore thumb. And unfortunately, El Nino happened during Michael, which was 18. It happened in 23 for Idalia. 2004 was an El Nino year. Even the tail end of Andrew was an El Nino year. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change anything. All it really does is lower the Caribbean because we have a lot of wind shear through the Caribbean. But yeah, the numbers could be less. More than likely, they're going to be less. An average year is 14. So now they're thinking, 11, 12. But it really only comes down to if you get it, you get impacted or not. And we just don't know that. Like I said, I think people, last year was supposed to be a busy season. I talk about it all the time. Like, was it? Like, no, unless you live in, Jamaica.
Right. Unfortunately, sure.
Because that high pressure the high pressure sits over us, and then it diverts hurricanes away from us, but it also causes extreme heat too, right?
Oh hell yeah, yeah. We got an alert today I saw from the Climate Prediction Center for next week to be like the whole peninsula is going to be under some extreme heat event because high pressure. Now last year we had cold fronts showing up, which you don't like cold fronts, I could tell. But in August and September we had cold fronts that started parking in the Atlantic, and it steered everything away. That Bermuda high was non-existent. But that same Bermuda high is responsible for creating winds and sea breezes, and we didn't have any rain either because of this front that parked across North Florida. It steered all the hurricanes away, every hurricane, but it also brought us the drought because we didn't have our typical flow, coming in off the Atlantic. So it's crazy. They can't predict that. Like, Michael and Idalia were homegrown systems that happened in the Gulf pretty much. Andrew, Western Atlantic. Gene and Francis were Western Atlantic. So like I said, I think we're just going to be looking at different areas for possible formation. Not your classic coming across the Africa or the Caribbean areas.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Mike, let's get into it because I follow Mike on Mike's weather page on Facebook, on Instagram. If you just search Mike's weather page, I mean, he's got over 2 million followers on Facebook.
Yeah. And if you're not following him, you should. You should follow him up.
And so I follow you, Mike. So I see, and then I saw you're on your cruise, your Margaritaville cruise. And then I saw that I'm going to call it Senior Frogs Gate.
Frog Gate. It's Frog Gate.
Okay. We'll shorten it to Frog Gate. And I'll kind of just leave it for you to explain what happened because I kind of got the gist from your social media posts, but I don't exactly know what happened. So you have the floor now, Mike. Frog Gate.
I mean, people love following the page and our families and our shenanigans, and we had a good time on stage. I was up there with 4 guys. We did a drinking contest, and I'm looking at these kids that are in their 20s, they're buff and stuff, and I'm 52, and I'm like, I'm gonna win this damn competition.
Of course.
It was a dancing competition. First we had to drink a beer. I almost won that. I felt good. And then we had to wow the crowd with a sexy dance. And I'm like, all right, I got this. So brought up my buddy's wife, Phil's wife, and decided to put my hat in the front of me and pull my pants down and did a little dance.
I love it. You know what? Someone say that this is a Dan Dennis dance all day. In fact, who is the only member of this show that has won a sexual positions contest?
I was there
at Senior Frogs. I won a $100 bar tab with my good friend Tiffany Martin of Salty Sisters, Satellite Beach. Go there and support a good restaurant.
You know what? That was pre-social media, though. Yeah. Like I was there at Senior Frogs, and it was pre-social media, which was
the sex position contest.
Which was a better time pre-social media.
It was fun as hell.
Although that's how Mike makes his living. So you must be
Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes it's not the best thing to do when you're having a drink package on a ship to post also online.
Right. No, I got you.
So what happened?
With what?
Did you get some pushback for your spiciness of?
Yeah, just some people. I get it. I mean, I'm representing companies and not everybody enjoys the non-weather posts. So it was a combination of things. I mean, and it's funny because Facebook now will give you ideas to get engagement. It's all AI based, and they always do the same thing. Like, post more from your cruise. Your fans and followers love the non-weather side and fun, and it's that's the truth. It's like, and I'm
Facebook's
partying with
like, take your hat off and cover your low pressure system with it. And you're like, that's a great idea. You take your hat off, you cover your low pressure system, you do a sexy dance, everybody cheers. I see nothing wrong with it. You get my vote all day, man. In fact, it would make me want to sponsor you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I would be like, oh, that's my guy.
So let's talk about that, Mike, because the interesting, like, why your page and you are so popular on social media is because you are a normal guy.
He's authentic.
That's
the word.
Yeah, and you're authentic. And I think in a day and age where we're being presented with so much inauthentic content from people where you're just like, okay, this person's obviously put this, either putting on an act, but this is
not
part
real.
of
I don't want to watch
presentation or whatever. And then I think that's why you have so many followers, Mike, is because you are a regular guy that also has a passion for meteorology and knows a lot about it and is serious about it, but you could be both. In a world that it's hard for people to understand that you can be both, right?
Yeah, and it's I always have enjoyed mingling with followers and fans, and I think what happens offline, is the magic, and meeting people all the time and our families, and they know everything about our kids, our dogs. I mean, random strangers, hey Sarah, I saw your nails, or like it's incredible to me how people are engaged in the life of post, and they know things. And for me personally, like I saw a non-weather post once from Jim Cantori, and we've kind of become friends. I like that. Like I like seeing.
You're good. No, you're fine. Oh my God, put your pants on, Mike. My God. Oh, he's got his hat out. He can't stop himself. Oh, he's frogging it good. Oh God.
I saw the low pressure system this time.
Bro. You know what? You are El Nino.
It's a category 5.
My God. I had no idea you had a typhoon in your pants. Good Lord, man.
Hey, you're happy to see me.
Good Lord. That is a mega wave.
If it was off when I got home, so maybe we felt it here in Oldsmar. And I tried to put it back on the wall before I came along with you guys. It didn't work very good.
You're fine. You're fine.
But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I think that's like you said. When it comes down to trusted sources, I see a lot of my local Mets doing a lot more non-weather posts, and I really believe people like to feel connections with who they're following, and I'm the same way. So I'm only doing what I like because I do it with other people online. There's radio hosts like Drew, our buddy Drew Garabo. We've become really good friends, and John Sinning, and I love the real posts, the family posts, the shenanigan posts.
And I think people, like, you can even tell on when you celebrate milestones with your family, and you do it pretty often, when you talk about, say, like you said, Sarah and things like that, we like that. It warms our hearts, right? Like, we want to be a part of it. We want you to share more of that. So just keep being you, man. You're good.
Oh yeah, I just have to be careful. That's all. Because I've said things in the past I probably shouldn't have, and offended people, and so I do try really hard to mold the message, especially with weather. Like weather, after us going through all these hurricanes, it's different now. Like everybody has lived it and experienced it, and I think you have to tone it down a little bit, the possibilities. And the old me, while was a little more enthusiastic, because I think a lot of us are excited about hurricane season, even though we don't want the destruction that comes with it. But there is a level of excitement when there's a storm, but not everybody shares that level of excitement, and especially if you went through these storms. So, I have changed a little bit, but I'm not going to change who I am. That's you only live once, man.
Agreed.
And
ride a bull named Fu Manchu. Tom said that yesterday. Don't live like you're dying.
But again, it's real, and it's like, and that's what I think everybody wants is real. Like, like you go to Senior Frogs and you're having a good time.
By the way, that is what you're supposed to do at Senior Frogs.
Yeah.
That's the correct.
Yeah. And you knew.
Last time we were there, they put aluminum foil on my head and they handed out marshmallows, and everybody came up and roasted marshmallows. They lit my head on fire.
I remember that. I remember that post, and no one had a problem with that.
And then they have Sarah singing up there.
That's awesome.
Last time though, this competition again, the drinking competition, we drank the beer. Then they tied a pepper around your belly, and you had to shake your belly and try to catch the pepper in your mouth, And I'm like, I can't do this, man.
You can do
So
it.
I had a brilliant idea. I dropped to the ground. Couldn't use your hands, so I just ate the pepper off the floor. Well, then the moral of the story is I got sick the next day. So don't lick the peppers on the floor.
Now, can I ask you a question, Mike? Because no one's asked this, but the things that you're doing in Senior Frogs are such elevated level. Like the things that you're doing are unlike partiers have never done this. Are you? And you may not reveal this on our show. Are you Senior Frog? Because no one parties like you. Like you literally, you know how to solve every game. You're winning the contest. You're like, is it one of your favorite places?
Oh yeah, well, everyone's different. The group that owns this one at Cozumel's different. They make it an event. Like from the time you get there, it's just fun. Like we brought people with us this time, and they really all agreed the same thing. They had a really good time.
What's your opinion of Carlos and Charlie's versus Senior Frogs?
It's never been.
Okay, we'll have to get you to go because it's very similar, right? I think it's like.
I like a party frog better than just two random
guys. Sounds like Tom and Dan.
Two random Mexican men.
A lot of people don't know that, but Carlos and Charlie's are the original Tom and Dan.
I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
it's a good time. And the post was not more. It was just more like I probably shouldn't have posted that.
You're good. You're fine. You're fine. All good. We're all drunk donkeys inside.
So last question, Mike. Have you started betting on weather on Kalshi? Because I think you can get rich.
I did. We were at the Gulf Coast Jam up in Panama City, and I discovered it, and it was a high temperature bet for the day, And it was like 99 and 1 or whatever. And one was, I haven't figured it out yet, but I would have, my $10 or my $50 would have won 4,000.
Whoa.
So it was 94 degrees or higher. So I thought I was smart. I'm looking at all my apps. I'm like, it ain't going to be 94 down there. So I bet it all. And I didn't know that we were an hour behind, and it already hit the high that day of 95. And that's why they suckered me in, because it already reached the high. And I was counting the money. So yeah, that was my first experience.
Yeah. You have to be careful with these prediction markets because they'll
leave it up.
They'll leave it up.
They will.
I didn't know that.
I think that's kind of shady, man.
Yeah. And by the way,
shady.
everybody who all these guys, the college football players that are betting or whatever, like these prediction markets and these sports books are as shadier than anybody else. Than
a real book.
Yeah. Like,
I think they are.
That's fraud. If you're leaving up bets and then people think
they're not telling you that you're falling into the trap, and they're like, okay, which is
like you
really lame.
Yeah.
That was hook, line, and sinker, though.
Yeah, I did it. I've done it. They do it with games or things too. They do it with
they do it with sports. I've seen in sports. They're like, who's gonna start, and I'm like, it's already been determined. And then you can't bet on that one.
But it's up.
But the other ones, like, you bet on Shedeur Sanders or what even, that's not even the bet, but it's like another one where it's like Mahomes, or it's like you're preying on the fact that people aren't as informed.
Yeah, you're preying on the ignorant, for sure.
Yeah. But
I'm going to do it. Like you said, I'm going to figure out that one bet that I'm going to do and, research it.
All right. Okay, let us know. We'll talk about it. We'll get our listeners to bet with you.
I'm going to propose, because this will probably be up on Kalshi, and if not, I'll look. So let's just say if there's an over-under of 2 named storms that actually affect Florida, what would you bet on?
Under.
Okay, all right, that's it.
And he was confident. You guys see how quick he said that?
Yeah. I should have.
I saw your eyes twinkle.
The correct probably would have been 1.5 if if I'm handicapping it right. Like it should have been 1.5. 2 was an easy under.
Bet on when the first storm is. They have a whole hurricane section I saw on there, and I'm trying hard not to. I don't know, man. I'm afraid once I get into this, I might just, never.
Well, it's
stop.
ruining Tom's marriage. It's ruining his marriage.
If you do get it, like I thought about this, Mike, where I'm like, I'm going to start talking with Mike about this, because if we get enough accounts we can get down some serious money on
Well,
this.
we got a whole army of listeners that are
I know.
willing to do. I'm in. I'll do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
with you guys.
But we
Let's
would
start a weather syndicate.
we have to make deals with them that we're getting half of the profit.
We have an
here.
attorney. We'll drop a
Yeah,
contract.
yeah. But we could have a whole group of syndicate
We have a
weather
syndicate.
betting. We'll get all the prediction markets, and we'll get a ton of money down. The problem is you can't be wrong because then I have to,
Yeah, it's kind of
yeah. You know what I have
Make
to
it
do. There's no coming back from losing all my wife's and family's money.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that, though, 'cause I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna try again. Trust me, because man, that was a big split, man. $50 would have won $4,000, but I didn't realize the high temp was already set that day. And
Damn it.
like I said,
Over under, Mike, on first name storm affecting Florida before September 15th.
first name storm, like the A storm.
Or no, just like
A name.
A name. I shouldn't say first name, but a
Oh.
name storm affecting Florida before September 15th.
Oh, I think, yeah, that's a yes.
Okay, all right.
I think we would get a weaker tropical system early season that would impact from the Gulf. It wouldn't be hopefully strong, but the weak tropical systems are very normal early season, June, July.
Okay. Because it just in my mind, I'm thinking that hurricanes, it seems like have been affecting us later in the season, like after September,
have.
like September, October, even November. We
Season's
had,
been long.
and so it seems like it is lengthening.
Well, right, and for us, it's different with this El Nino setting up. It's supposed to be very strong, and so a lot of the chatter is our best chances for anything would be earlier in the season before that super El Nino kicks in, which brings a lot of wind shear. Now, what it does do historically, this is the big catch. Hurricane season's a flip of the coin. You don't know what it's going to be, and I know it's a lame answer, but nobody's got the answer. But fall and winter El Nino events for Florida, and especially the Florida Peninsula, is the most flooding. Almost 4 times the flooding happens in super El Nino years for Florida, and almost 4 times the tornado activity happens in super El Nino. And if you think back to 97, 98, we had some pretty significant tornadoes that came through the middle part of the state, and that was a super El Nino year. So we get this. I know, Tom, you like the weather, so you can geek out on it. But we have a subtropical jet stream because of this El Nino, and we don't have a jet stream normally through the Gulf. So when we have this strong jet stream in the winter, that's what the Midwest gets. And we normally don't have a jet stream across Florida. So that you bring a cold front into play, and then it creates all this havoc in the Florida Peninsula, sticks out like a sore thumb. And that's probably more going to be the weather story going into next year than hurricane season.
There you go.
Okay, that's interesting.
You heard it here.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. We really appreciate it. And again, follow Mike and Mike's weather page on all social media.
Yeah, what are you doing with your life if you're not following Mike?
Yeah.
And good luck with everything, man. And love to the family. We hope you guys are good. You were at that. You loved the big country concert, right? You guys had a great time out there.
Yeah, Riley Green's a big, and I saw Post Malone, and a totally 180 change. I wasn't a big fan of his music.
Sure.
And I didn't know about the crossover to country, but man, watching this guy perform, I was in awe. And then the comments all said the same thing. He was the most genuine, humble,
Seems like a nice man.
engaging guy. I so enjoyed watching him.
I bet you he'd put a hat over his frog.
yeah.
Sandy Frog.
Oh,
'Cause
Malone?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, did you call him Home Malone? Tom
did
just
turn
called him
around
Home Alone.
Well, they told me
Home Alone?
the guy that runs the place said that was the whitest ass he's ever seen in Mexico.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. From this
Yeah.
picture, you can see him staring at it.
It's like, what do they call it? They call that Blanco Sapo. Blanco Sapo. Sapo Blanco.
Yeah.
You're the notorious Sapo Blanco.
Well, and then the guy behind me, I couldn't get my pants back up. I had to make sure I stayed covered.
He
and I
can't
asked
get
the
his
guy
frog
behind
back in.
Yeah. Were you a little bit afraid that somehow like the hat would like fall off
And then
and
it fall through somebody's table said guacamole.
and then the crowd takes pictures and puts those up on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, always, right? I mean,
But that's what makes it dangerous.
Yeah. That's why you won.
Yeah.
Did you win, by the way?
yeah, I won. We got shots for the whole table. So
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
Shots for the table, man. Come on. You guys killing it.
we did. So Julie and I got voted on that Love and Marriage show. You ever seen that? Where you got to act to get on stage and do that competition on the cruise lines.
Oh yeah.
And we won that, and we had to do I did some crazy stuff, man, because it was a Tarzan and Jane scene, and I forget, what did I do, Julie? I did.
Oh, you
something
wrap a
more.
vine around her neck, wrap a vine around her neck, start dragging her
I
around.
ripped off my shirt and something else, and that would have got. So I've lived this dangerous edge.
You have an edge to you that I think people like. They like dangerous Mike. Maybe it's something to think about. You own spaghettimodels.com, and then you have mikesweatherpage.com. Maybe you need dangerousweather.com. Dangerous Mike's Weather.
We'll just put a bandana on and your prison Mike weather page.
Yeah. El Blanco Sapo.
I'll make a Speedo thong made out of spaghetti.
Oh, hey now.
Now,
and I got a good spot for the 2 meatballs.
There it is. There you go.
Yeah. Now there is a part of this where you lose all sponsors, which your wife and family be very
They're
mad
like,
at you
slow
about.
down, man.
Yeah, no.
Because I too want to do a lot, and then I'm like, well, hold on.
Yeah. All right, let's dial this back 3 steps.
Yeah, I'm joking. I keep being you, Mike. That's why you have the followers.
Yep.
As long as you have the followers, you'll have endless sponsors. Don't worry about it. You keep being you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And I mean, it's still my hobby, and when it comes down to it, and I love doing it. So I got to keep it real. What got me here, and what I'm going to keep doing the older I get. I'm doing a little more storm chasing and earthquake chasing, apparently, now it looks like.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
There you go. Well, Mike, thank you, man. Whenever Tom reaches out, and you're always so kind to come in here and talk to us, we appreciate it. And I guess we'll be talking to you later in the year to see how this thing kind of unfolds, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, man. The hardy plants.
Hardy plants.
Yeah. Can you know if the freeze, once we get closer to January, I'll shoot you some texts, and you just have to let me know if the freeze is coming. I got to get out there with the heaters.
Oh, yeah. I'll be standing out there with a couple tiki torches.
Yeah, January 9th at 2:15 a.m.
There you go. You heard the man. Mike, take care of yourself, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
That is Mike from Mike's Weather Page.
That is the hard part about any sort of content, art, even that documentary, The Dark Wizard that me and Crystal were talking about the climber or whatever. He had a hard and
I thought it was about Black Harry Potter.
Bands have a hard time with this too, and traditionally anybody who makes art or even content on social media, you can categorize that as art, right? In some way, because you're presenting something and people are looking at it. Yeah. Right? And,
totally.
And so even though that doesn't seem like art, I guess under the category of you now have a following, you're doing entertainment.
Well, a lot of things don't seem like art at the time.
Yeah. And so the problem is that when you mix it with money, because then you turn your art or your following or whatever into money, and then now there's some impurity to it, right? And there has to be. There's no way around it, right?
Sure, yeah,
and there's ways now when you
it's an outside influence no matter what.
And when you own it yourself, it's a lot more pure than if you work for a company, because they protect that money way, like they won't even get close to letting you push any money. We've been in that. And so like doing it yourself, you're getting a lot more pure, but regardless, it complicates things, right? And for the person creating the content, it is a struggle for them, because the people that are following you or watching, or anybody watching your content or looking at your art, they want it to be as pure as possible. They don't want any influence in from the money, right?
Agreed.
So they are happy anytime that you show. I'll say warts and all. Not that Mike's genitals will have. He shows genitals, but he's covering it with his hat, and people got mad.
What he's saying is he didn't put the hat over his warts. That's not what he was doing.
So people want that because it's real, right? Even if it's something that they're like, oh, we should have done that.
Well, it's relatable.
Yeah, it's
we're all
flawed. And
yeah.
not even that this is a flaw. You're just having fun, and maybe it's not appropriate at a dinner party, and it's really how you're consuming it. This is at Senior Frogs in Mexico. Like, this is how you
it's
act.
what you're supposed to do there. Yeah.
But now he's sharing it with 2 million people, and some of those people are sitting at work in a professional environment,
Right.
and then they're shocked by this
Yeah,
because they're not sitting at Senior Frogs, which guess what? A lot of other businessmen and
Time and a
professional.
place.
Yeah. But now Mike is sharing that stuff with 2 million people that are like, oh, they're shocking to them because they're, and so that
People get mad
It takes
sometimes.
balls to share
Yeah.
because, by the way, he's sharing it. He knows what he's sharing,
yeah.
right? Like this is
It's
not
his to share. He's the one that put it up.
this is not paparazzi. Mike's. There's no paparazzi following Mike.
Paparazzi. I like that. I like what you're thinking. What was the other one you had? I like that one too.
So then when you do that, you take risks, but that risks financially, because some sponsors may be like, oh, I don't like this, or this is not professional, or whatever. Like, and that's why it is harder to get partners with more corporations.
Sometimes I think about that with me and how like the majority of my career doing this has been relatively filthy, and then sometimes there's a guilt that comes with it in me thinking that if I didn't say a lot of the jokes that I say, could we be more successful or be more approachable, or have I ever done anything? Sometimes I do weigh that. I'm like, oh, grow up, you dick, and get to work.
Yeah, but that's why we have the listeners, and without the listeners, no one's ever going to sponsor.
No,
us.
I know.
So
It's a weird dance to try and do.
It's always listeners first. Because without any listeners, we have no money.
Nothing to sell.
There's no. So it has to be listeners first, and
You're
we always
right.
look like that. But
it's weird, right?
Also, the words don't hurt you as much, because it's like the picture. It's like so it's like the picture of Mike standing there with a cowboy hat over his genitals.
Yeah.
And it's like that is what like. Him telling that story, like he's like, I did this other cruise ship thing. They probably acted more crazy.
We didn't hear what his Tarzan act.
But
was.
but by talking about it, people are like, oh, yeah, it's the picture a lot of times that gets you. And then that's a weird relationship with social media too, because it's like sometimes, it's like sometimes I'll go to make a post and I'll just screenshot it and I'm like, this is better for audio only, because if I make the post, it's going to cause a lot of confusion. People are going to not hear my intent.
Well, you're only communicating with letters.
Yeah.
There's no body language. There's no inflection.
And
I'm taking it however I'm taking it when I read
Yes.
it. So there's a different filter on top of it.
And I think to myself, if I make this post, I'm going to piss off a lot of people in the comments. If I talk about this, I will piss off nobody.
It's your Carmelo Anthony take, right? Really bad Carmelo Anthony take.
But how weird is that? Like the same words and the same joke can either piss someone off if they're reading it, and if they hear it, no way.
Well,
no,
but social media is rife with assumption.
Yeah.
Right? And you can choose to be that way too. I mean, there are some people that choose to do that on purpose, and I don't know what this is when they vague book. Like they want the attention, but they don't want to share what it is they're talking about.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a dysfunctional. Social media is a bad way of communicating.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying don't take this as me saying I don't like. It has its place. But if you were going to try and communicate something accurately,
that's horrible.
Social media would not be the place to do it, because you're only communicating with like one set of. And it's different for everybody. I could write something out and let you read it, let Crystal read it, let Andrea read it, and Maisie read it, and say, what do you think I was saying there, and how was I when I said it? And everybody would have a different way of everything. He was mad. He was pissed off. Oh, this is weird. Or
this is a backhanded insult.
Yeah, because you're assuming your own thing. I mean, I do it more than you do because I'm more sensitive, right? So if somebody says something to me, if I read something, I can take whatever you wrote. I do it with your text. You'll send me a text message. I'll read it, and then I'll read it as me mad at me. Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
No. Your post says, I am having a great day. And then someone's like, I know what that means. That's an attack.
Bitch. F this guy. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, relax, man. Relax. But
yeah.
it's not that it's, and we rely too heavily on it, right? Like it's gospel to us. So when we read it, we're like, well, that's what he said. It's like, no.
Yeah.
He typed that.
How do you feel about like an artist or a band or someone, whatever, and then like accepting money for something.
Oh, I struggle
and
with all of this, with AI and money and art and all of that. Is like it's hard for me sometimes.
because that rock climber, like his big turmoil was like if he gets sponsors, then he's a slave to the sponsor because they want they start telling you got to produce, you got to do this, and he liked the ultimate freedom of doing whatever he felt like doing at the time. So like
I think you can have both. I think you can have both,
but it's a hard balance. Just like you could have a happy marriage and a happy career. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, you have to put work into it. In order to do it, and you have to accept the fact that it may not always be that way at all times. It's going to ebb and flow. Sometimes it's going to be more successful than other times. But I do struggle with that a lot. Yeah, man. Like I mean, like even with what we do in here. There's sometimes it's sometimes even the origin of me going and writing a song isn't I'm writing a song because I want to write something that's funny. It's that I feel like I have to do it. Which is different.
No, no, I know. I apologize. I do that too. I'm like, write that song.
No.
New one every time. You're like, I don't feel it today.
But if I can do it, why would I do it, right? But if I can't do it, why would I do it? And I think there's different, but like just the fact that we even talk about that, I think is a good thing. Because it alleviates the pressure, makes me feel better, and like now I can do it.
No, I know.
It's weird, but
no matter what, have
you ever told this story? And I don't even know if you want to do this, but have you ever told the story? And I think we have just enough time about you telling the people at where we used to work about like you're like I'm an artist, like I do art. This is my art.
What,
do you remember that?
Was it in what reference?
It was in like reference to like shutting our show down, I think originally, and you had some big. There's a memory in my brain that it's been flagged of you sticking up for what we do. You're like, this is our art.
I may have been with the fact that they don't want to curse or whatever. Like they were like arguing that by me cursing
and
it was therefore going to affect other sponsors or some sponsors hear me curse, which is. A stupid person told me this, by the way. But they were just worried about protecting the corporation and like, what if McDonald's hears you curse?
Okay, the whole point of me saying this
like,
is that's the first time I ever thought about what we do as any form of art. That time, I would never categorize anything that we do as art. But that was the first time when you said that, whether it was BS or whether you were using an excuse or sticking up for, us being censored or whatever. That is the first time that I ever thought about like, oh, this is a form of art.
It's on the spectrum of art for sure.
But absolutely,
even a newscaster there's an artistic element to a newscaster.
It's a presentation.
Yeah, because the presentation of it is all different, and like that's what determines one good popular one and non-popular
100%.
one. How they look, how they present, how they
authentic
talk,
they are. It goes right back to it.
Even if because sometimes it's a presentation of a personality that's not even really them.
Yes.
If you think about
people
that,
don't like that. They can't connect to it.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's what they have to do in that particular job because they're reporting the news. So it's and this day and age is not so much. And I think they want you to lean more art nowadays more than ever. But it used to be you have to be totally unbiased.
The pendulum is fickle, right? Yeah, it wants what it wants.
Yeah, you used to have to be totally in the middle and not any sort of bias one way or the other or whatever. Not even you have to be kind of like a robot, but no human's a robot. So that's our art to even doing that.
Yep. So I understand.
It's all part of it.
It's all part of it.
I don't know what that means.
Anyway, go put a hat on it. And, do a couple of tequila shots.
You do you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
That was funny, dude. That was really funny. Maisie just texted me, reminded me of a product I want to talk about. Because they're recycling toys now, and it's hilarious. All right. That was... What was that? That was... Friday? No.
That is Friday, yeah.
That is Friday.
That's Friday.
Okay. Guys, we're going to take a little break.
We're going to go to lunch, and then we'll be back at 1.
Yeah, we'll be back at 1 with Matt Mormon from.
Well, no, just text me.
Oh.
He's having some
Oh,
anxiety.
bless his heart.
And he's not going to be able to make it.
Understood.
But I'm going to
Understood.
see if we can maybe talk to him on the phone just about it, because that's really what I was going to talk to him all about, is like this journey
Yeah.
he's going through, about like telling everybody how hard
He
it
can
is.
call if it's easier. He can Zoom, whatever he wants to do. So, guys, yeah, we'll be back. We'll be me and T. So